and I'm a businesswoman. So yeah, but I am into meditations also. So since childhood, I wanted to, learn about the scriptures and all those things. But I am basically based in Gurgaon, though my roots are from Rajasthan. Though
Okay.
when we were too young, I am from DAV public school, so we have the mantra sessions. We had that as our subject also. So from there, I developed the you know and like an intrigue for knowing more about the scriptures and what our culture holds. So, but
Right.
I was not able to understand from where I can gain the knowledge. So as soon as
Mm.
I was just searching for it a few months back, and I just got to see about Ruta's deep roots. And
Okay.
firstly, I joined my kids, and Bhagavad Gita. I always took book in my hands, but I couldn't understand it and kept it back again. So, but
Yes.
yes, I wanted to know. So I was looking for something, some tutor who can, teach me so that, I am regular with that and I understand the knowledge of it. And I think that it is the right time because now we this I don't know what is it called, Shad Mantra, 4 months.
Chatur. Yeah,
Yeah,
this is.
started now. So this is, I think, the right time when God is making me start this
Yes, yes,
also.
very, very nice that you wanted to learn Bhagavad Gita.
Yeah.
So it's they say it's all God's destiny. So He knows when to give, what to give, and whom to give.
Whom to
So
give and
you have come to
whom
the
to give.
right
He
place
is
at the
my
right
guru.
time. Yeah, everything happens during the right time. So we have to wait for that time. That's it.
Yeah, but I'm
So
glad now the time has come and
yes,
I'm looking forward to moving ahead with this. Yeah,
yeah. So very nice to know about you.
yeah.
So I hope you know the structure of Bhagavad Gita, right? So there are totally 18 chapters. Yeah. So there are 18 chapters and 700 shlokas. Uh,
Okay.
so each chapter has different number of shlokas. For example, first chapter has 47 and second chapter has 72. Like that, it goes on.
Okay.
So we are starting from a smallest chapter, so that it becomes easy for you to learn, and also you get motivated to go further.
Yeah.
Uh, so that is why we have taken the 12th chapter, which is called the Bhakti Yoga. So here in this chapter, Bhagavan explains how to do bhakti to him. So how should be our bhakti towards him? So
Mm.
that is the summary of this chapter.
Okay.
So it contains 20 shlokas. Uh,
Okay.
Yes. And I hope you know the story how Bhagavad Gita started, right? So history
Yeah,
of
yeah,
Bhagavad
that I know.
Gita.
That I know.
Yeah. So we'll not go into that. So anyways, you know that. So we'll just start. So
Sure.
and our session starts with the Om chanting.
Okay.
As soon as we start, so we chant Om 3 times, and then we chant Vakratunda, a small shloka of Ganapati, and then we will start our session. So
Okay.
you can either chant Om along with me, or you can repeat after me. So however you are comfortable with, then you can do that.
Sure.
Okay. Shall we start?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We can start.
Om.
Mm.
Om. Om. Vakratunda Mahakaya. Surya Koti. Yes, ma'am. Please go ahead. Vakratunda Mahakaya.
Vakratunda Mahakaya.
Surya Koti Samaprabha.
Surya-koti Samaprabha.
Nirvignam Kuru Me Deva.
Nirvignam Kuru Me Deva.
Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada.
Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada.
So this is the 12th chapter. So I'll first recite the first shloka. and then I'll explain you the meaning, and then I'll teach you the shloka by dividing it into 4 parts so that it becomes easy to divide. So actually in the Mool Gita one, so there is no break in between. So we are breaking it to learn. So once you learn it fully, and then once you are reciting the whole Bhagavad Gita or the whole chapter, so you need not have to give break in between. So you can recite continuously. Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha. श्रीमद्भगवद्गीता अथ द्वादशोऽध्यायः अर्जुन उवाच एवं सततयुक्ता ये भक्तास्त्वां पर्युपासते ये चाप्यक्षरमव्यक्तं तेषां के योगवित्तमाः. So this is the first shloka of 12th chapter. So here in the previous chapter, in the 11th chapter, Arjuna has seen the cosmic form of Bhagavan, which is the Vishwarupa Darshan. So now he has a doubt that whether he's asking Bhagavan, so how do you consider, whom do you consider perfect among your devotees, whether who are worshipping your formless form, means which is the cosmic soul, even if Bhagavan is not in front of us, so we know that he's there and we worship him, right? So he's asking whether you are pleased when your devotees worship you as the formless Brahman, or your form, your idol. People, we worship him as an idol. That is what is Arjuna asking over here. Now repeat after me, ma'am. Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha. Please repeat, ma'am.
Oh, my audio was off. Sorry. Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha.
Shrimad Bhagavad Gita.
Srimad Bhagavad Gita.
अथ द्वादशोऽध्यायः.
अथ द्वादशोऽध्यायः.
अर्जुन उवाच
अर्जुन उवाच
एवं सततयुक्ता ये
एवं सततयुक्ताये
भक्तास्त्वां पर्युपासते
भक्तात् स्वां पर्युपासते
ये चाप्यक्षरमव्यक्तम्
ये चाक्षरं व्यक्तं
Ma'am, actually 3 words are involved over here. Cha means also, and aksharam avyaktam. So he's asking whether it is aksharam, means imperishable form, or the vyakta rupa, means the form, the ideal form. So how do you consider your devotees to worship you? So here cha pyakshara. So in Sanskrit, cha means and or also. And here akshara is combined with cha, and avyakta is combined with akshara. So the 3 things are combined over here. So when we are reciting, it should be echa pyaksharam avyaktan.
ये चाक्षरमव्यक्तं
So cha and cha and akshara. So cha and api over here. Cha, api, akshara, avyakta. So all the things are combined. So
Okay.
cha pyakshara, api and akshara, cha pyakshara.
अपि
Cha pyakshara.
अच्छा ये चाप
E-
यक्षरमव्यक्तं
Correct.
ओके ये
चाप्यक्षरमव्यक्तम्.
ओके
Yes.
ये
Can you repeat?
चाप्यक्षरमव्यक्तं
Perfect. तेषां के योगवित्तमाः.
तेषां के योग वित्तमाः.
Correct.
So
Now we'll recite. Yes, ma'am.
in this shloka, when I am reading the Sanskrit form, in this yog, there is no e ki matra.
Where, ma'am?
Yoga vattama. It's coming like in the notebook that you have provided me.
Yeah, it is yoga vittamaha.
Vittamaha. Okay. Yoga vittamaha. ठीक है. Okay.
Yeah, now we'll recite line by line. एवं सततयुक्ता ये भक्तास्त्वां पर्युपासते.
Okay. एवं सतत युक्ता ये भक्तास्त्वं पर्युपासते.
Correct. ये चाप्यक्षरमव्यक्तं तेषां के योगवित्तमाः.
ये चाप्यक्षरमव्यक्तं तेषां के योगवित्तमाः.
Very nice.
Okay.
Now both the lines together. Arjuna uvacha evam satataयुक्ता ये भक्तास्त्वां पर्युपासते ये चाप्यक्षरमव्यक्तं तेषां के योगवित्तमाः.
अर्जुन उवाच एवं सततयुक्ता ये भक्तस्त्वं पर्युपासते ये चाप्यक्षरमव्यक्तं तेषां के योगवित्तमाः.
Okay, ma'am. In the first line, it is bhaktaastvam. Both ka and sa is of long sound, so we have to pronounce it like bhaktaastvam.
Bhaktaastvam. Okay. Bhaktaastvam. Okay. Is there any guide through which I can understand what does that circle and that means? Because what I am understanding is when we are reading in this particular mantra only, from evam to Payupasate, in this, okay,
Yes.
in this English form is much more understandable, and
Okay.
when I am reading the second line, in that English form is much more, as per the sound.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes, that is why we have given you the both, because in English, you can use it for pronunciation, because when 2 to 3 words are combined together, so it becomes difficult to follow the Sanskrit one. So when you follow the English one, you will know the pronunciation properly. So which word to pronounce. So when you follow the English one, the only one drawback is you will not know whether it is long sound or the short sound. So that is only one thing. So that is why we have given you the both, so that when you refer both, you will understand how to pronounce.
I'll try.
Yes, ma'am.
Slightly difficult right now, but I'll try.
Yes, ma'am. It might feel difficult in the beginning, but since after a long time, maybe you are understanding Sanskrit. So that is why that it happens. But once you start reciting, with regular practice, you will be able to recite very perfectly. Don't worry about it.
I'll just go. Yeah.
Okay. You want me to repeat the first shloka, ma'am?
One more time. I'll just.
Okay. अर्जुन उवाच एवं सततयुक्ता ये भक्तास्त्वां पर्युपासते ये चाप्यक्षरमव्यक्तं तेषां के योगवित्तमाः.
एवं सततयुक्ता ये भक्तास्त्वां पर्युपासते ये चाप्यक्षरमव्यक्तं तेषां के योगवित्तमाः.
Perfect.
Thank you.
So after the class, I'll be sending you the meanings and also the audio files. So whenever you get free time, you can listen to the audio and then practice. And let me know if you have any doubts so that we can gain practice in the next
Sure.
session also.
Sure.
Yes.
Thank you.
Next one. श्रीभगवानुवाच मय्यावेश्य मनो ये मां नित्ययुक्ता उपासते श्रद्धया परयोपेतास्ते मे युक्ततमा मताः. So now Bhagavan says, Bhagavan Uvacha means Bhagavan said, so those who fix their minds on me and always engage in my devotion with faith, so I consider them to be the best yogis. So Arjuna is asking, there are two forms. So which form do you consider is the better one to worship you? So now the Lord answers his question by telling that those who you whatever the way you follow, you should come to me only. There is no other way. He's the destination. So all of us do all the devotion, all the worship to attain liberation only. So liberation is merging with God. So he is telling those who fix their mind in me, uh, always sada bhakti purva. So if you follow that path of devotion, then I consider them to be the best yogis. The path is not important. What is important is the bhakti, the faith. That's what the Lord says.
One thing, ma'am.
Shri,
So
yes.
in the previous shloka,
Hmm.
what are the two forms? Which are the two forms that Arjuna is referring to?
Yeah, Arjun as I told you, he has seen the Vishwarupa Darshan of God in the previous chapter, 11th chapter.
Right.
So that's not the regular form how people see Krishna,
Acha.
right? So people see Krishna as Krishna only, as a human being. So there are other forms of Lord Krishna. The soul is like formless. So there is no form for any soul. So the soul just wanders here and there. So he's asking which form do you consider to be more perfect to attain you? That's what Arjuna
Okay, so
asks.
one is the big Swarupam or the Kana that we have seen in the
Yes.
Mahabharata, or
Yes. Correct.
human form basically. Human
Yeah.
form.
So with form means the human form or the formless Bhagavan. For us, everything is a Bhagavan in Hindu scripture. Even if we see the Ashwatha tree, people tree, we worship it as Vishnu, and the other forms of Vishnu are also there. So apart from Krishna, there are other forms of Vishnu, and whatever we see in our Hindu mythology, we consider it to be God. The sun is a God for us. The moon is a God for us, and the river is a God for us. Everything is a God for us. So he is asking, which form do you consider to be more perfect to attain you?
Oh, understood.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shri Bhagavanuvacha Mayyaveshya mano ye man.
This is not acha. It's above. Okay, okay.
Second one. Yeah.
No, I understood. I was just checking where is the Hindi, the Sanskrit form. It's above the English form, na? So I was just
Yes, yes.
sorry. Okay.
It's
Shri
okay.
Bhagavan Vacha Maya Veshya Mano Ye Mam
Nityayukta upasate
Nitya Yukta Upasate
Shraddhaya parayopetas
Shraddhaya Parayope Tas
te me yuktatama mataha.
Te Me Yukta Tamamataha.
श्रीभगवानुवाच मय्यावेश्य मनो ये मां नित्ययुक्ता उपासते
श्रीभगवानुवाच मय्यावेश्य मनो ये मान् नित्ययुक्ता उपासते
श्रद्धया परयोपेतास्ते मे युक्ततमा मताः.
श्रद्धया पर पर्युपेतास्ते मे युक्ततमामताः
Now both the lines together. Shri Bhagavanuvacha Mayyaveshya mano ye man nityayukta upasate Shraddhaya parayopetaste me yuktatamamataah.
श्रीभगवानुवाच मय्यावेश्य मनो ये मां नित्ययुक्ता उपासते श्रद्धया परयोपेतास्ते मे युक्तात्मामताः.
Okay, very nice. Next one. So in the shlokas 3 and 4, so he elaborates more about bhakti. ये त्वक्षरमनिर्देश्यम् अव्यक्तं पर्युपासते सर्वत्र गमचिन्त्यं च कूटस्थमचलं ध्रुवम् सन्नियम्येन्द्रियग्रामं सर्वत्र समबुद्धयः ते प्राप्नुवन्ति मामेव सर्वभूतहिते रताः. So he says, those who worship the formless aspect of him, he is the imperishable, the indefinable, the unmanifest, and all-pervading, and unthinkable, the unchanging, the eternal, and the immovable. By restraining their senses and being even-minded everywhere, such people engaged in the welfare of all beings also attain me. So he says, worshipping the personal form is the best, and he also clarifies that in no way he rejects the worships of the formless. Those who devote themselves to the all-pervading God, the unmanifestable, inconvincible, immovable God, immovable Brahman, also attain him. So that's what he says in these two shlokas. Ye tvaksharamanirdesyam
ये त्वक्षरम् अनिर्देश्यम्
avyaktam paryupasate
अव्यक्तं पर्युपासते
सर्वत्र गमचिन्त्यं च
सर्वत्र गम अचिन्त्यं च
कूटस्थमचलं ध्रुवम्.
कूटस्थलमचलन् ध्रुवम्.
If you want to break that, then you have to break it like Kutastham Achalam. So both the words combined, Kutastham Achalam Dhruvam.
अचलन ध्रुवम. ओके. कूटस्थम अचलन ध्रुवम.
Correct.
Hmm.
Now line by line.
Okay.
ये त्वक्षरमनिर्देश्यमव्यक्तं पर्युपासते
ये तव अक्षरम अनिर्देश्यम अव्यक्तं पर्युपासते
सर्वत्र गमचिन्त्यं च कूटस्थमचलं ध्रुवम्.
सर्वत्र गम अचिन्त्यं च कूटस्थम् अचलं ध्रुवम्.
Yeah. Now both the lines together.
ध्रुवम्. Okay.
ये त्वक्षरमनिर्देश्यमव्यक्तं पर्युपासते सर्वत्र गमचिन्त्यं च कूटस्थमचलं ध्रुवम्.
ये त्व अक्षरम् अनिर्देश्यम् अव्यक्तं पर्युपासते सर्वत्र गम अचिन्त्यं च कूटस्थम् अचलं ध्रुवम्.
Correct. Next one. Sanniyamyendriyagramam
सन्नियम्येन्द्रियग्रामम्
सन्नियम्येन्द्रियग्रामम्
सन्नियम येन्द्रियग्रामम्
सन्नियम्येन्द्रियग्रामम्. That's all. सन्नियम्येन्द्रियग्रामम्.
सन्नियम येन्द्रियम
No, ma'am. Yam is not. Yendriyagramam.
सन्नियम येन्द्रियग्रामम्
सर्वत्र समबुद्धयः
सर्वत्र समबुद्धयः
ते प्राप्नुवन्ति मामेव
ते प्राप्नुवन्ति मामेव
सर्वभूतहिते रताः.
सर्वभूतहिते रताः.
Now line by line. सन्नियम्येन्द्रियग्रामं सर्वत्र समबुद्धयः
सन्नियम्येन्द्रियग्रामं सर्वत्र समबुद्धयाः
ते प्राप्नुवन्ति मामेव सर्वभूतहिते रताः.
ते प्राप्नुवन्ति मामेव सर्वभूतहिते रताः.
Very nice. Now both the lines together. सन्नियम्येन्द्रियग्रामं सर्वत्र समबुद्धयः ते प्राप्नुवन्ति मामेव सर्वभूतहिते रताः.
सन्नियम्येन्द्रियग्रामं सर्वत्र समबुद्धयाः ते प्राप्नुवन्ति मामेव सर्वभूतहिते रताः.
Very nice. First line, it is the short sound of ya, buddhayah.
बुद्धयः.
Yeah, you have to stop there. Next one, fifth one. क्लेशोऽधिकतरस्तेषाम् अव्यक्तासक्तचेतसाम् अव्यक्ता हि गतिर्दुःखं देहवद्भिरवाप्यते. So he says, for those whose minds are attached to the unmanifest, the path of realization is fully very difficult. So worship of the unmanifest is exceedingly difficult for the embodied beings. So he says there is, if you worship the formless Bhagavan, so then difficulties are more. So here we can take the example of a monkey, having its baby. You might have seen, the monkey always, the baby monkey always is clinging to its mother's body. So when the monkey is jumping from branches to branches, so there might be a chance that the baby monkey may fall down, right? So whereas on the other hand, if we consider a cat carrying its kitten, so the kitten is very free. It is the cat holds the kitten on his neck over here. So the kitten is just freely moving without any fear that it might fall down. Whereas the baby monkey is always in fear whether it will fall down. So we are, clinging to that kind of God over here. So this is the meaning of it. So he asks his devotees to just be free and make devotion, leave everything to God. So that is what he wants to say over here. क्लेशोऽधिकतरस्तेषाम्
क्लेशोऽधिकतरस्तेषाम्
अव्यक्तासक्तचेतसाम्
सक्तचेतसाम् क्लेशोऽधिकतरस्तेषाम् अव्यक्तासक्तचेतसाम्.
Avyakta sakta. So avyakta and asakta, so both the words combined over here. अव्यक्तासक्तचेतसाम्
अव्यक्तासक्तचेतसाम्.
correct. अव्यक्ता हि गतिर्दुःखम्
अव्यक्ता हि गतिर्दुःख्यम्.
देहवद्भिरवाप्यते देहवद्भिरवाप्यते
अच्छा, ओके. देहवद्भिर अव्य जस्ट से
देहवद्भिरवाप्यते
वाप्यते.
Yeah.
ओके.
क्लेशोऽधिकतरस्तेषाम् अव्यक्तासक्तचेतसाम्
क्लेशोऽधिकतरस्तेषाम् अव्यक्तासक्तचेतसाम्.
अव्यक्ता हि गतिर्दुःखम् देहवद्भिरवाप्यते
अव्यक्ता हि गतिर्दुःख्यम् देहवादभिरवाप्यते.
Ma'am, if you break and then recite, then it becomes difficult. So just combine all the things and recite. Dehavadbhiravapyate. Dehavadbhiravapyate.
देहवद्भिर्वाप्यते.
Correct.
देहवद्भिर्वाप्यते.
Yes.
Okay.
Now both the lines together. क्लेशोऽधिकतरस्तेषाम् अव्यक्तासक्तचेतसाम् अव्यक्ता हि गतिर्दुःखम् देहवद्भिरवाप्यते
क्लेशोऽधिकतरस्तेषाम् अव्यक्तासक्तचेतसाम् अव्यक्ता हि गतिर्दुःखम् देहवद्भिर्वाप्यते. देहवद्भिर्वाप्यते.
Yes, ma'am.
देहवद्भिर्वाप्यते. Okay.
Correct. Shall we recite it once more?
Yeah.
क्लेशोऽधिकतरस्तेषाम् अव्यक्तासक्तचेतसाम् अव्यक्ता हि गतिर्दुःखम् देहवद्भिरवाप्यते
क्लेशोऽधिकतरस्तेषाम् अव्यक्तासक्तचेतसाम् अव्यक्ता हि गतिर्दुःखम् देहवद्भिर्वाप्यते.
Perfect. Okay.
It's tiring.
It happens, ma'am, because don't feel low because Sanskrit is such a language that however we go to recite it, it is like tongue twister. So it is not like the usual language we speak because Hindi, English, we are all speaking in our daily life, so it becomes easy for us. So when we are reciting Sanskrit, which is an unknown language, it happens in the beginning. But once you regularly practice it, it is very easy to recite.
Right.
Yeah. So
I like Sanskrit. I had Sanskrit in up to 8th standard. I think 10th standard. Yeah. I
okay.
had, but then obviously you don't read, so you lose everything. Yeah.
Yes, that's what happens with us. During school, for the exam purpose, we read and then we forget over there. So since we are not reading it regularly, it feels difficult. So once you practice regularly, everything becomes easy.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Shall we stop here, ma'am? We'll continue in the next class.
We can stop.
Okay. Tomorrow, same time, right? 3:30 p.m.
So tomorrow is Guru Purnima. I have some, visit to my Guru at this time. Can we any other time you are suitable for tomorrow? In any, if you are comfortable.
Which during evening or morning, is it okay for you?
Morning is okay if you're fine. I'll just see. Before 1. If you
Before
are,
1 o'clock?
you can tell me your time. I'll just see how I can manage.
Okay, 11 a.m. is it okay?
11 a.m. Okay.
Or 1:30 or 2:30, however. So you said within 1, right? So 11 a.m. I think it would be fine
So
for me.
what I'll do is I'll be in office at that time. So I will 11 a.m. won't be fine because from 1 o'clock the function will start and it will go up till 5 p.m. So it's like
Okay.
that, huh? So if you are comfortable, can we do around 7? If you are comfortable, otherwise I'll see.
7 in the evening?
Uh-huh.
Ma'am, actually I have another class in the evening,
Achha.
so it will means it will be a clash if I take at 7
So what
7.
I'll do, I will join from office only, okay? But
Okay.
I might not recite that loud.
Because I want you to recite, because that is why this shloka class is for. It's okay, ma'am. You let me know.
Can we do in the morning around 10 if you're okay? I'll go late then. Or 9.
10 a.m.
Yeah, or 9 a.m. if you're okay. Or early also if you want, I can do that.
Early hours means 8:30. Is it okay?
8:30 is okay for me.
Okay, ma'am. Then we'll do at 8.
8:30 is better. So we'll finish in 40 minutes. And
Yes, yes.
and then I can continue for my office also.
Sure, sure. Yes, ma'am. Okay.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
This is only for tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Only for
okay.
tomorrow.
Otherwise we are taking at 3:30 only.
3:30.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, fine.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank
Jai
you
Shri
so
Krishna.
much. Jai
Have a
Shri.
good day.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Ma'am, can I leave? Ruta ma'am, can I leave?